Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to the Empress Club. And this is your humble vassal, Professor J. Mark. We're on chapter 4 right now in the book, The Empress Club, where we turn boys into men, men into leaders, and shapers of destiny. Chapter 4 is about character. Man must have character. Character is beyond important. And the reason why, this French old lady had said something to me that a man with no character gets drunk on a teaspoon of power. I'm like, whoa. Character is important. Because you know, power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If a teaspoon of power corrupts, those with no character, imagine if they had without power, imagine if they had absolute power, they'd be destroyed. And that's why in the Empress Club, character is preached. You need character because you're going to be put in a position of power. And without character, if you cannot handle a teaspoon of power, you're useless. You serve no purpose. You're like Caligula. He's the emperor of Rome. I think Caligula had many character flaws. But if you studied the Roman history, you'll see the damage Caligula caused because of a lack of character. And that's a perfect example of why character is so important. And why having morals and principles is very important. I could end this chapter right now just on that. If you go and check out Caligula, you'll understand the importance of character, morals, values, and principles. Especially when you're a leader, especially when you're in positions of power. And even though I don't think it'll happen again, when Caligula was emperor of Rome, he destroyed everything around him, including himself, because he had no character. You must have character. Let that set in. Yes, Caligula, yes. It's a very twisted gentleman. I think it's a tormented soul. You need character. That's all I can say. I think with a little bit of character and self-control, he may not have been destroyed by absolute power. Now, let's move on. Now you understand. I hope you understand the importance of it. And if you check with history, when you study Caligula, you see the importance of character by viewing what not having character does when given power. It crushes you. And John Maxwell had said, the leader cast his shadow upon the organization. And Caligula is a perfect example of that. His lack of character put a black cloud over Rome. And in the Emperor's Club, such persons are not allowed. I'm sorry. You must have character. If you don't have it, you have to go. End of the story. Now, even though as a child I was taught the importance of character, we were taught how to build character, you conduct yourself in a certain manner. But I learned the value of character from watching cowboy movies. Like, when gentlemen would go into shops in the character movies and they would be short, and the clerk or the owner of the shop would be look at the person and say, "You have an honest face." I was fascinated by that because even my grandmother used to say that. Say, that one, don't trust them. That they look on them, say they're guilty. And be like, all right, that one you could trust. And 9 times out of 10, my grandmother was right. And I'm like, what does my grandmother in the cowboy movies know? And then the answer came to me when I read one of Ralph Waldo Emerson's books. Don't ask which one. I read a lot of them. When he said that who you are shines on your face for the world to see, or for all the world can see but you. Excuse me, sorry about that. Then I understood the reason why the clerks and the owners of business establishments could look at a man and say, "Oh, you have an honest face." I always love that. You have an honest face. Well, I'm sorry, no credit. But you just tell someone, all right, you have an honest face, so you give them credit. I know my grandmother can look at people and say, Don't trust them. You don't even know them. No, don't trust them. Or that person is trustworthy. Well, I'm like, how do you know? I know. So I became aware of this from my grandmother and watching it on television. And guess what? I grew up, I got older, and I realized what my grandmother was saying when Emerson said, who you are on the inside shines on your face for all the world to see but you. You can't see whether or not who you are shines. Other people see it. And this is another reason why you need to have character. And it should be a way of life. Not that you pretend to have character because people are looking, but that's who you are. And I had an uncle that preached integrity. That's all I grew up hearing. Integrity, 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 integrity. That's the way of life for me. That who I am, what I say and do line up. And if you want a perfect example of why this is important, this is a negative example, look at the average politician. You can't trust the word that's coming out of their face. And why is that? They have no integrity and they have no character. And such men should not be trusted with power, even women. I don't care. You should not be trusted with power if you have no character, no integrity. I'm sorry if your feelings get hurt, but dealing with power, you put in a position to affect people's lives. And there's no way someone like Caligula should be allowed to play God with people's lives. He has no character, no integrity, no values, no principles, no morals. And you're going to play God? I think not. And this is why in the Empress Club, you have to have morals. You have to have values. You must have character and integrity. Because you'll be in a position of power. This is the same my sister loves to say. When you're powerful, you must be merciful. So, you can't give power to someone with no character. And the first thing they do in giving power is to be petty and spiteful. You need someone in power that can handle power, control themselves, and not be spiteful and vindictive. So, you need to have character, gentlemen. And believe me, you can't fake character. Because Emerson said, it shows on your face like a light for all the world to see. So, people can see you, they can smell it. And like the movie says, do the right thing. That's it. That's all there's to it. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. See, all right. That's why you taught his children to be honest, to speak the truth, not to steal, to respect people's persons, property, and possessions, because it builds character. And you know something, it's between my uncle and my grandmother. But it had to have been my uncle when he talked about integrity. And he was saying that you should live your life in such a way that no one has to wonder how you're going to act in the dark. Isn't that something? I just came across a quote on Pinterest last night. And it said, I don't trust words, I don't trust actions, but I trust habits. That's right. You make character your track record. Because people are watching you. And the reason why I think a teacher had made a big deal about character too. And I asked her, what's the big deal? Because I know where my grandmother, my uncle does. I will see why she did it. And she was like, but you trust a thief with your money? I said, not a day like it. I said, all right then. She's like, all right then. That's why character is important. And she was saying that character determines how far you go in life, because to go far in life, you need other people's trust. And a lack of character does not engender trust in others. People will not trust you if you have no character. Perfect example, look at politicians. How much people trust them? No one respects politicians. So you think they're going to trust them? And what happens when the first opportunity comes to get rid of them? You toss them. So in the Empress Club, we're not here for power for the sake of power, but like I said, to be shapers of destiny, to rewrite the narrative, to alter the course of people's destiny. And you can't do that without character. That's just like a gentleman I met at school. I was an alcoholic, you know, and he was like, boy, let me catch you drinking. And I'm like, hold on, didn't you just ask me for $2 to buy rum yesterday? And I said, yeah. That's why I can tell you don't drink. Now, he had no basis to tell me not to drink, because that's what he has done. But he was honest enough to say, the reason why I tell you don't drink is you're going to ruin your life, and I don't want it to end up like mine. I have to respect that. He was not a hypocrite. Well, some people tell you, well, don't do it. I'm doing it, but you don't do it. And he said it ruined his life. He told the truth. So even though he told me not to do what he was doing, he told me why. I have to respect him, because he told the truth, and he was not a hypocrite. You know, to me, those are two character traits I look for in a solid person. To be in the Empress Club, you have to have character, and you have to be a lover of truth. And you cannot be a hypocrite. There's nothing I hate, loathe, and despise more than anything than a hypocrite. So rather than hate people, I make sure I don't do it. Well, anyway, that being said, gentlemen, character is everything. Character is who you are when no one is looking. I've seen questions asked, what would you do if you can get away with it? That reveals your character, to tell you the truth. Now, to me, character is not who you are, because you can't get away with it. Not who you are, what you do in the dark, or whatever the case may be. Is who you are, if given opportunity, and you can get away with it. That says a lot about you. If you are sneaky and dishonest and conniving, you're not wanted in the Empress Club. The world has had enough of that. We need decent, moral, upstanding people with character, morals, values, and principles. Because society has collapsed people. Anything goes has failed us. You have to rewrite this thing, because the present system isn't working. Insanity says you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So, gentlemen, excuse me. So, gentlemen, to save society, because I would say save, to rebuild. Society has to be rebuilt, because it can't be saved. It has collapsed. We need character. Character is the foundation of rebuilding society. Anyway, with that being said, gentlemen, I'm done. See you later. Catch you on the flip side. Remember, character counts because it is everything. Goodbye.